So this is the third stone circle I visited in Japan. This is the Manza stone circle, which is the northwestern of the pair of circles on the Oyu site. And here they built this very convenient viewing platform to give us an overview of the circle. Now this one is perhaps the most interesting site that we visited. You can see we have the same sort of double circle construction with the inner and outer rings. There's the causeway that links it to the other circle on the far side of the road. But this one has a lot of these building remains right up against the edge of the circle. And these shelters are actually built over the remains that they've found. So it seems that this one had much greater involvement in the everyday life of the community. Just on the left there, moving into the centre now, you can see the single megalith and sort of radial sundial feature between the inner and outer rings. And in the far distance there is a wooden building construction, which is quite interesting in itself, and we'll get to look at that a little bit later. Again, all these stones, or the vast majority of them, are this green stone that's been brought from a river over 7 kilometres away. So it's obviously a very special stone to use. And unlike the other circles, this one, as I say, seems to have had a much more important role in the community. It's been much more of an everyday circle. It hasn't been a separate ceremonial space, as you might expect. It seems to have been in daily use. Dowsing wise, we find a blind spring in the centre, quite a lot of energy lays running off through these features at the edge here, and I'm intrigued by these because there are lots of these little individual stone arrangements which may be sort of family shrines or possibly even graves. I don't know. As usual, the Japanese interpreter was sort of lacking the terms to explain it adequately to me. There's the sundial stone, as you can see there, and that, of course, is marking the alignment to the other circle. Now, all these stones that are standing around the edge here, I was dowsing there is a falling water source underneath that, a downshaft, if you will. So these may be having an energetic function in grounding any kind of detrimental energy that might be coming from anything that's going on within the circle, maybe to protect the community. So yeah, you can see it's quite a jumble, so it's quite hard to interpret what is going on here. Let's just have a look at the alignment again. So if we look over here, I'm actually in one of the hut circles here. You can see the 4 posts marking where the roof columns were. And through the gap in the circle here, you can see the sundial stone lining up with the centre. And that, of course, lines up with the centre and the sundial stone of the Nonakado circle, or just across the road there. And the alignment is to the mountains at the back there, which is the winter solstice sunrise, according to the brochure. And, of course, looking back in the direction towards the camera now would be the midsummer sunset. Here's a quick overview of the plan again. So we're in the northern part of the map here, and you can see the alignment I've marked in with the sunrise and sunset positions there, and the 4 cardinal points. Now just off to the edge here, there's this interesting row of stones, which is almost like a little path leading into the circle. It's kind of almost in the direction of that astronomical axis. But it seems to lead off to several plots around the circle. Here's one of them, which is a sort of circular plot with the 4 posts in the middle, so this is very clearly a hut circle. And here's another one. Again, we've got the 4 posts, and there's even a little stone porch here, which is presumably where the entranceway was. So as I say, there's quite a lot of these on the site, and just in the distance there you can see posts marking the sites of other buildings. Here we have a square composition remains, which is an outline of a square structure. Maybe an animal pen, maybe another house, I don't know. It seems quite unusual to see something square, where everything else we've seen has been round. Next to it here's another circular foundation. I mean, I'm guessing these have to be like roundhouses, as we would have in sort of Iron Age Britain. They all seem to have these very common features, and this stone porch sort of arrangement So it's a very interesting site. There's an awful lot of these, and you could really spend all day just walking around 'cause it's quite a large area this place covers. One of the other interesting features, perhaps the most interesting one, I thought, was the sort of wood henge reconstructed building in the distance, and we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. But here is a row of pillars on the map here. These are at just the far side of the map. We're at the stone circle on the right of centre there, and the Nonakara one is to the left. And way over in the far corner of the site, there's this interesting row of tall columns. Now, I've no idea how high these were originally, but anything in a straight line like that says to me it's marking an astronomical alignment for sure. So I was convinced it was going to line up with the building here, but sadly it passes just behind this, so rather disappointingly. However, the entrance of this is more or less in the direction of our winter solstice sunrise, so it's possible that this was used as some sort of observation building for that event, where it would be completely enclosed and dark inside, so they might be recording the sunrise positions. So you can just see the pillars in the distance there, and typically there's a couple of trees masking the alignment. So who knows? Anyway, that's the Manza Stone Circle. I'm Graham Gardner. I hope you've enjoyed this short series of videos. Thanks for watching.